In your life's first act, you have spent decades building everything you were told to build. Career, check. Family, check. That retirement account that never feels quite adequate, double check. But now you're entering your life's second act. You're in your 40s or 50s or beyond, when you're supposed to be enjoying the fruits of your labor. But there's something wrong. It's getting harder to deny that alcohol or other drugs are threatening everything you've worked for. And so you find yourself Googling, "Am I an alcoholic?" In this video, I'm going to tell you why that's the wrong question to ask. And more importantly, I'll give you a much better question, one that, if you answer it honestly, can open the door to a radically different, authentic, and better life. I'm Dr. Don Crowe. I practiced emergency medicine for over 40 years, and I've been sober for the last 27. On this channel, we talk about sobriety for your life's second act, how to get it and how to want it. I won't promise you an easy fix, but I will share with you what has saved my life and what has worked for countless others I have met along the way. I can't tell you if you need to get sober. You'll have to decide that for yourself. But if people close to you have complained about your drinking, or you've had issues at work or encounters with the law where alcohol was involved, or you're just sick of waking up hungover too many mornings, then it is natural to wonder, am I an alcoholic? Here's the problem. That question doesn't get you anywhere. It's vague. It's loaded with shame, and worst of all, it invites debate instead of action. It makes you focus on a label instead of your reality. Ask 5 different doctors what an alcoholic is, and you get 5 different answers, and that's not an exaggeration. Most physicians today don't even use the term alcoholic. Instead, they talk about alcohol use disorder, or AUD. It's the new clinical term, but I think it muddies the water for 2 reasons. First, the diagnostic criteria for alcohol use disorder that is used by physicians is huge, vague, and subjective. Practically speaking, to make a diagnosis, the physician must know things about their patients that few physicians have time to learn. Consequently, even those with serious problems are rarely diagnosed. Additionally, the term alcohol use disorder implies that the main problem is using alcohol, not the underlying condition that constitutes the disease. It's like calling pneumonia cough and fever disorder. Sure, coughing and fever show up, but they're not the disease. They're symptoms. And importantly, if you make the symptoms go away, the underlying lung pathology persists. Finally, the term alcoholic is, for most people, pejorative because it calls to mind the bum living underneath the bridge. The fact is that most people who are questioning their alcohol use have jobs and families that they don't want to lose. Ironically, because of these jobs and families, they delude themselves into thinking that they couldn't be an alcoholic. So asking, am I an alcoholic, leads to confusion, and confusion leads to inaction. Instead, I want you to ask a better question, one that puts the focus where it belongs. And that question is, what happens if I stay sober for 30 days? No need for a diagnosis or a label, but accepting this challenge does require honesty, willingness, and a measure of courage. Let me be clear. When I say sober, I mean free of all intoxicants. That includes alcohol, of course, but also cannabis, or any chemicals that you don't need, or anything else you use to change how you feel in the moment. So what might happen in those 30 days? The short answer for myself, and almost everyone I've known who's gotten sober, is a lot. The changes expected are both internal and external. Internal physiologic changes, such as sweatiness, rapid heartbeat, muscle aches, and nausea, are signals that your body has become dependent on alcohol and is now in withdrawal. These symptoms vary in severity, but they are never fun. Your emotions in the first few days may be intense and perplexing. You may find yourself angry or sad or depressed or elated and joyful. Don't be surprised if you experience all of these while waiting in the checkout line. You may be especially anxious, and it is expected that your sleep patterns will be disrupted. many external changes occur as well. You'll suddenly notice how incredibly unfunny most people are when you're not 3 drinks in. And that's normal. You'll start to notice that you have extra money in your pocket. Turns out that drinking is expensive. Who knew? You will also be less likely to engage in dangerous behavior, such as driving after drinking. Your relationships will begin to shift, usually for the better, though some people might find your new clarity a bit inconvenient. And most importantly, you'll begin to discover who you really are underneath the alcohol. I'll be posting another video soon, diving deeper into what to expect in those first 30 days. So why try the sobriety experiment? Because this will allow you to answer the real question: is it time for a change? Here's a guarantee I can make with absolute certainty. No one who has reclaimed their life's second act from alcohol or drugs got there without stopping for those first 30 days. Even if you go back to drinking after this experiment, the insights you'll gain are invaluable. You'll learn whether your body is chemically dependent on alcohol. Spoiler alert, it will tell you loud and clear. And you'll also meet your greatest opponent in this journey, your own mind. That little voice that whispers, "Come on, one little drink won't hurt. You've proven your point. This time it'll be different." You'll learn that that voice has an advanced degree in persuasion and zero interest in helping you change. And if you don't make it the full 30 days, that's not defeat. That's data. Very important data that tells you that alcohol has more power in your life than you thought. And that's exactly why this experiment matters. It is only a failure if you fail to view it as a call to action, since you now have proof positive that alcohol is undeniably an obstacle to becoming who you want to be in your life's second act. So stop asking, "Am I an alcoholic?" Instead, ask yourself this: what would happen if I tried 30 honest, sober days? You don't need to commit to forever. You don't need to join a program or stand up in a church basement announcing your struggles to people half your age. You don't need a label. Just take a 30-day test drive of life with no alcohol or other intoxicants. See what you learn. Then decide. You don't have to figure out the rest of your life today. You just have to take the next right step. Thanks for watching. I'm Dr. Don Crowe, and if this resonated with you, I'd like you to do 3 things right now. Selfishly, I'd like you to hit subscribe to Second Act Sobriety so you don't miss future videos for those of us in life's second half who are ready to make it count. Comment below. When did you enter your second act, and what one thing had you hoped it would contain? Your story might inspire someone else who's standing exactly where you once stood. If you have a question, ask it. I will read the comments and respond. And finally, visit secondactsobriety.com for resources tailored to midlife and beyond, and an opportunity to connect with our community. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, becoming sober in your life's second act isn't about giving up anything that is real. It's about getting the life you've worked so hard to build.